Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, and with like always is Noah Bailey. So, Noah has not seen the Flash movie yet,
I'm not.
but I have seen the Flash movie, and I'm not going to go into any major spoilers. I'm not going to even really talk about the movie, but I do want to just talk about two general things about it. First, it's surreal this movie is actually out. Like after the movie, I walked out. I was like, "The Flash is definitely a movie."
It exists. It wasn't a joke.
They didn't write it off like they did Batgirl. They stuck to it. They released it. Considering the box office, maybe they shouldn't have, but we'll get to that at a later date. It could be a thing where word of mouth makes it do better, but maybe not. Um, but like the more general discussion I want to have about this movie is, again, I know you haven't seen it yet, but I have a feeling you're gonna have a very similar reaction to this movie. I feel like I know we've had a similar conversation like this before, but I feel like we as a society, especially people who are terminally online like I am, we have this obsession with feeling like every single piece of media needs to either be a masterpiece or gutter trash and
Yes.
nothing in between.
Yes. That is just a fact.
And
How
every
society.
single person feels like they need to give their opinion, with that opinion being, oh, that was the worst insert thing I've ever seen, or that was the greatest insert thing I've ever seen. When I would say conservatively, 75% of the things that are made are just fine. Like most things that are created for your enjoyment are okay at best, and I think that's fine.
Yeah. And I think a big part of it that a lot of people don't get into is that things are enjoyment is subjective.
Mm.
Yes, there are movies that are objectively better than others for sure. But there are also some movies I'm gonna like more than you are. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
like more than I am. Other people are gonna like. It is on a subjective level in a lot of cases, and just because this movie, oh well, this didn't do exactly what I was expecting going in, does not make it trash. Or this movie doing something that was like, oh well, it's different, but it works. Maybe you think it works, but not everyone else thinks it works, and
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things that just not even just with movies, but just with everything lately. It's kind of just like you said, it's like everything's an absolute. Everything's either the greatest thing ever or you're absolutely a turd for even thinking you should have tried this. Like there's
Right.
no possible agree to disagree. I think it's cool, you think it's not. It's nope, it's trash, and anyone who thinks it's their opinion's trash on everything, and that's or
Mm-hmm.
it's the greatest thing ever. If you don't right now stop what you're doing and watch it, you don't know what you're doing with your life. And it's just like, dude, it could just be like a six. Like it's
Yeah, and
okay.
that's fine. And I feel this mindset completely trivializes the idea of things that actually are really 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 good or really 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 bad. Like if you say that every movie is the absolute greatest, the greatest superhero movie since The Dark Knight or whatever, they always say that, but as
They
if like
do.
there aren't movies that have come out since Dark Knight that are also really good. Like whatever. No, not that Dark Knight is bad, but I feel like that's a weird. The movie came out so long ago. Like, there are other anchors
15
you can.
years.
Yeah, there are other movies since you can relate stuff to, but whatever. If every single superhero movie is the best superhero movie since The Dark Knight, that completely trivializes the idea that objectively fantastic stuff has come out recently, like The Batman, Guardians 3, and Across the Spider Verse, for example. Like, if people are trying to say that The Flash is one of the greatest superhero movies they've ever seen, when Across the Spider-Verse came out 2 weeks prior, not even years, not even months, 2 weeks prior, you are kidding yourself. Like, it is the. I saw tweets that were like, it is the most comic booky movie you've ever seen. When, like, what? Guardians 3 is more comic booky. It wasn't even really trying to be, like, obviously into the Spider-Verse franchise. That's like, comic books come to life. Like, they're just
literally.
Like, what does that even mean? Like, I know again, I haven't seen the movie yet, but like, it's, I guess, more comic booky than like.
Maybe because it's like adapted from a comic book, it makes
Barely.
it comic booky. But that's what I was thinking. I'm like, but like, not really, because like based on what I'm saying, it's not really like it's Flashpoint, but is it though?
Yeah, like it's more comic booky than like The Dark Knight Rises, but that's going for a different vibe entirely. So it's
yeah,
like
not even trying to be like Nolan's not even trying to be comic
No.
booky. He's just
and if you try to say that The Flash is one of the worst movies you've ever seen, shut up. No, it's not. like, like, again, that trivializes the fact that there can be movies that are legitimately terrible, like Wonder Woman 89 or 84, The Rise of Skywalker. There are just so many. Battleship, Robin Hood, like the Assassin's Creed movie. Like, these movies are some of the like worst of the worst things I've ever seen. And you're trying to tell me that The Flash is deserving to be on the same tier as Battleship and the Assassin's Creed movie? No, I don't think so.
that movie takes me back, man. That movie is hot to garbage.
Have you seen the Assassin's Creed movie?
I have seen half of it and then gave up because I was upset.
Yeah, it's bad.
So, yeah.
like The Flash is fine. It's like a 6, maybe someone can maybe argue for a 7. Like, if someone said they didn't like it, I wouldn't argue against it, but I maybe argue against the severity. If someone said they liked it, I wouldn't argue against it, but same way, I would be like, maybe you're going a little overboard giving it, that glowing of praise.
Mm-hmm.
And like, every single person online feels the need to feverishly defend their opinion on this movie when it's fine. Like, walking out, there were certain scenes I liked, certain scenes I didn't like, certain things I thought, could have been done better, certain things I would have liked to see more of. Overall, rounding out to about a 6 or 7. Like, and that's okay. It's fine. I don't know. Like, I don't know when it started. I think I'm gonna have to blame reactions to The Last Jedi for this. But like,
honestly, I think it's Batman vs Superman.
Yes.
But I also think The Last Jedi is also like the other big one.
Yeah.
Because those are the two movies where I think this like polarizing movie opinions things. Like, granted, I think that's just polarizing opinions in general in society kind of got just everything's the best or the worst because of other reasons that we don't really discuss on the podcast.
Around that time, yeah, that did.
But
yeah, that's a good point. But like, you would think after 6-7 years at this point, you'd think that would kind of peter out, but it's only intensified, and I don't like that.
Nah. It's just like you change things forever. There's no going back. It's just
there's no nuance to anything. You can't just say, I really liked the first 20 minutes, but I think it kind of got overblown, and after that just kind of started doing things I didn't really agree with. Like, you can't have any like, I like certain things, I like certain actors, certain things didn't work. I think this should have been switched around. This actor should have not been doing what they were doing. Like, just certain things here and there with any movie in general. Like, even movies that are really, really good, you can't say anything negative about because people will try to crucify you for it. It's like, I don't know. It's like, You can even be like, I really like the thing. If I had to have one opinion on it, then just like no, like it's like, ah,
No, very true.
I don't know. I don't know. Like again, I think you're gonna have a similar opinion to this when you watch The Flash. Like I do encourage you to watch it just so we could, because I wanted to talk to
Yeah,
about
no,
it with somebody.
we gotta discuss. We've talked so much about it before it came out. We have
Yeah.
to talk about it after.
Yeah. Like I would be surprised if you were like, no, this is a 10 out of 10, but also it'd be like, I would be surprised if you rated it any less than a 5 because it's fine.
There would like this is one of those movies. Like I'm not trying to say I'm coming in like with the expectation of what it's gonna be. I'm not expecting much, but like I'm not expecting much. Like
Yeah.
it just kind of like I'm expecting, oh, this might be cool or this might not work, and then
Yeah.
like there's no way I'm gonna be like it's a 0, but there's no way it's gonna be a 10 either.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
fairly certain.
there's certain situations I go into a movie like Black Adam where I have zero expectations and come out relatively
Sounds
positive.
pretty good. Yeah.
I go into something like Shazam: Fury of the Gods, where it's like I like the first one. This one, I'm hopefully it gets at least as good, and like it was fine, like
Alright,
fine.
maybe a little, like, but like not by no means the worst movie of the year, like by
Yeah,
no means.
like
But
same with Ant-Man. Like I kind of like Quantumanium. I think it dropped the ball in certain areas, but it's definitely not the worst Marvel movie like some people try to say it is. Like
people have such a bad memory, man. Some of these Marvel movies are terrible.
right.
People like Ant-Man 3, that's the one.
even
Like how did
even Ant-Man 2, I think is worse. I don't.
Nah, I mean, I think 3 just because the quantum realm. After we talked, it just kind of felt very like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And that was kind of the whole movie. Like, I'm not saying we should have known what to expect, but it was just kind of like, I didn't expect this, but I also don't love it.
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
it's kind of just whatever.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how society could be fixed. I don't know how, like, again, I would like to think something like the Spider-Verse coming out and people, everybody and their mother agreeing that movie is phenomenal. I would like to think something like that coming out would train people not to view everything as a potential masterpiece, which like it's okay to like movies. That's not what I'm not saying that at all. It's okay to dislike movies, but don't go into everything expecting it either be the worst or best thing you've ever seen. That is not healthy. You'll almost always be disappointed one way or the other. That or your confirmation bias. Like you go into a movie like this Flash movie is going to suck, and then you're not going to like it. Or you go into a Flash movie, it's like I think I'm going to like this, and you're probably at least going to like it. I don't know. Like it's okay to be excited for things, but maybe tone it down just a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. More general thoughts on it would maybe sometime next week when we actually see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just surreal that it's actually out.
After all the talk and all the
Yeah.
directors, and this movie's not going to happen. It's going to get canceled.
After 6 years of
Here
it
we are.
being just being in limbo, it's finally out. So
They had so many chances. Just let it go. Ezra Miller doing crazy stuff, losing multiple directors, all this. You can just let it go. It's okay. It's okay. Just let it go. No, we got to make it happen. Do you?
I don't know. You don't have to. Or if you do have to, knock it completely out of the park in every way possible. And like I said, this movie does certain things pretty good, but not everything. So I don't think it was actually worth it. Oh well. Speaking of a movie that I have absolutely no idea what to think of it at this point, Kraven the Hunter finally got a trailer. What are your thoughts on this trailer? I was honestly kind of at a loss for words. So what are you thinking?
I I like it more than Morbius, if that says anything. But I
It doesn't.
mean, yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where I don't think it looks bad. It looks interesting, but it's
Right.
kind of like I can't. There's two things. One, the whole no Spider-Man thing, which is the same issue with all these Sony movies.
Yeah.
Who cares? There's no Spider-Man. Is the entire thing
Hmm.
everyone's kind of like thinking. Which, okay, we've got the elephant out of the room. But even then, it's still kind of like,
But
okay. And then he's got like, I mean, it looks okay. It just, you kind of just feel like you've seen this movie before because
hmm
it's gonna be this guy who's a great hunter. He gets powers, yada yada yada, and then some other guy who gets similar powers, who's gonna be a little bit bigger, is gonna have the same thing,
a little bit
and then
bigger, a
he's
little
gonna,
bit grayer, because the rhino.
yeah, a little bit grayer, a little more CGI-er, and then he's gonna attack Kraven, and then Kraven somehow, for some reason, even though it makes no sense, is
Hmm.
gonna be the hero, even though the hero is not a hero in any aspect
No.
whatsoever in his original design, except I guess coaching if you count that. But then again, he's
Yeah.
also a hunter, so I don't know how he. I don't know if that's the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, it just seems like I don't know. It kind of I feel the same way about this that I feel like the Elementals, but in obviously different ways. But kind of like
Right.
we've seen this a lot lately, and
Hmm.
I don't really feel like seeing it again.
Yeah. Like, I just have this suspicion that every single person that Craven kills is either some like shady agent guy, part of some military force, part of some cartel, like some obviously antagonistic and not good like enemy, where it's like not even ambiguous that yeah he probably should be killing those people anyway. Like it's no like random civilians, no like politicians or any like just like there's gonna be no point where he actually does something like truly villainous. Because the most
He's
like villainous thing that Venom did was like fight off the cops, I guess. Like, I don't know, but they were also attacking him, so it doesn't really. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing. And again, like I get there's no Spider-Man, so you kind of have to make it work, but it's like why are we forcing the villains to be like anti-hero slash regular hero? Because even Black Adam, like I know Black Adam was kind of more just like whatever, but it
Hmm.
still kind of feels like yeah, they're like trying to pigeonhole this very evil with no and at no point has ever even considered being a good guy really.
Yep.
And they're like, you know what? What if he's misunderstood? It's like, nah, like,
No.
and I know, I mean, I'm still waiting when someone doubles down and says, you know what? We're making the movie about a bad guy, and it's not gonna be this like, oh, he's awesome. No. He's just a bad guy.
Yep.
He wakes up, brushes his teeth, things like, you know what? I feel like, just killing some people. Or you know what? Gets out of bed, you know what? I'm gonna rob a bank. Like, like he's just a bad guy. And there's no like emotional, like, oh, you feel bad for him. It's just nah.
Yep. Like,
Nah.
you don't need to do a Mega Mind. We already have Mega Mind. You don't like a lot of movies. Like essentially, is this meme online where almost every single time someone like tries to pitch a new idea for a superhero movie, it's like, oh, you just did Megamind again. It's like, what if a villain was actually a bad guy, but he realizes that like his like he after his nemesis is gone, he realizes that his life is just boring, so he's gonna try to be a hero. He just Megamind again. It's like
Yeah. He's like, yeah. But like that's what I'm saying. And like, and granted, that movie needs so much more love
yes,
than
it
it
does.
gets, even though it
Yeah.
does get a good amount of it. But I mean, my thing is like, I know it's hard to do villains without heroes. But my thing's kind of like almost like from the perspective of like mafia movies or like
Mhm.
movies where a lot of the main characters are kind of just like they're you know it's like oh they're bad but like we all know they're bad guys
Yeah.
like you know what I mean like we know they're the bad guys like you're rooting for them but they're the bad guys. Like we need more. I think just a bad guy. I know like the win. I know like the good guys always win kind of thing, and all people are good, and all villains are complex. Like, but I feel like you just had a bad guy movie where you're rooting for the bad guy. I don't think that would be as bad as people might think.
Yeah, like I know we've thrown this idea around before, but I think it would be a pretty cool idea if like they made a Lex Luthor movie where his like antagonist was Vandal Savage. I think that is a cool like you don't need Superman in the story. You don't like he can be his own thing without like Superman being his antagonist for the movie. Like you can still have another villain be the antagonist, but just have it just be Lex Luthor just being Lex Luthor in every aspect of him. Like,
right.
And you can do that without him having to fight Superman.
Right. And again, he's like he's the protagonist, but he is by no means a good guy.
No,
the entire time he is Lex Luthor. He is a terrible person, and he has no problem doing it.
Yep. He's not going to be redeemed at all. He's not.
Nope.
No, like there's not going to be a moment where he realizes the error of his ways, or he realizes he can actually do good. Like, no, he still wants to be president so that he can try to subjugate superheroes. Like that is his whole thing. Like, if Vandal Savage is in his way, like
that would be so good. Like a President Luthor movie, like his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
All the while, Superman is just absolutely livid, but can't do anything about it. Yep. That'd be so good.
I mean, I think you could also make that movie from the other perspective, having Superman, like, be a Superman movie with like Luthor doing that. But yeah, like that needs to be done at some point during James Gunn. Do that at some point. Anyway.
So I don't know. This makes me want to map out another DC universe.
Right. Like,
it'd be so cool because you could have Luthor do his thing in a movie. Or like maybe Superman's like, just busy with the Justice League or something, and he comes back and he's like, he sees a billboard like 20 miles away, he flies up to it, and it's like, vote for Luthor, and he's like, what? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! He just comes up with Lex building. He was like, we're doing this now, we're doing that. Are you serious? Like, are you?
Like, hey, man, like on top of him, on top of Luthor and Vandal Savage, like both trying to be president, you could also have a thing where like Luthor and Vandal Savage are both like fighting over control of the Legion of Doom. Like, that's such a that's so cool. Have like 3 or 4 villains on both sides, like fighting.
Nah, like a Legion of Doom Civil War thing would be super hype. Like, it'd be so.
Yeah, just like you can still have the villain fight another villain without trying to make them sympathetic. But I don't know if Kraven's gonna do that, but I'm feeling it will because that's all these movies. Yeah, I appreciate they're finally making these movies rated R, but I don't know why Kraven decided why Kraven was the first one that was rated R.
I mean, Carnage definitely should have been, but I honestly think they thought it was going to have a bigger demographic, so they wanted it to make sure the kids can see. Even though the kids are going to go see it anyway. I mean, kids watch Deadpool, so which still baffles me. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's coming out in October. There's a chance it's decent. I don't know. Like it's gonna be about as good, at least as good as Venom, right? Venom's like a 5 or 6. Can't be worse, right?
It's gonna be fun. The floor is Morbius. The ceiling is like Venom or Venom 2, depending on your preference. So, yeah.
I was blown away by the like one of the last lines in that trailer was like, "Do you want to know why they call me the Rhino?" And then it cut to him like getting the Rhino arm. Like, is he called the Rhino before he turns into a literal rhino? Is that like his code name? Why is he called that? Like, what?
No idea. I guess we'll find out or something. I don't know.
And this movie where within the Sony universe they're clearly building towards some form of the Sinister Six. Are we really gonna do this in a series where Kraven kills Rhino? Like that seems like a waste of a villain. Like,
Seriously, I mean, maybe he won't kill him. Maybe he'll have his redemption arc by then, and then he'll learn that killing is wrong. And I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
I don't know. There will be a really awkward scene, like after credit scene of somebody collecting Kraven for some greater cause to go after somebody. Venom, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
some.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, but yeah, it's going to at least be the second best thing to come out in October featuring Kraven. So, you know,
Which isn't it? Would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happens twice. I love that so much.
Okay. I thought I had more stuff to talk about, but not a lot really happened this past week. So, aside of Secret Invasion, which you haven't seen yet, which is fine. First episode, I liked it. So, you know, we'll talk more about it once more of the show is out. But yeah, I'm into it so far. So let's move right along to a little game that I forgot to name. I don't know. Remember release dates? I don't know, something like that.
What do we call it? Are we really that old? I don't know.
Not bad. So, I feel like I am just, for some reason, really good about retaining release dates for video games, specifically movies too, but more so for some reason video games, especially Nintendo video games. And I don't know if you're as good at at that, but I thought it would be fun to like do a little game where I have 15 superhero movies and you have however many video games, and we're gonna see if we can remember at least the release year of each of the things I list. Okay. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. So, again, these are all superhero movies. They're in no particular order. There are no, it's just 15 that I pulled randomly.
Okay.
I'll start you off easy. And you only need the release year. If you get the release date, you'll get an extra point.
Okay.
At least, yeah, I'm going to try to keep track. But if you get the release year, you get 1 point. Month, 2 points. Date, 4 points.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I don't think I can get the date for most of these, or any of these.
Probably not.
Okay. When did The Dark Knight come out?
Okay. So I know that's 2008.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. I want to say July?
Okay.
Is it July?
It's July.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Shot in the Dark, you want to just guess a random date?
July 8th.
18th.
Ah! Okay. Well, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was the easy one. I'm surprised it was July. Like, I knew it was a summer movie. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just keep little hashes here. I get 2 points. All right. So, when did Captain America: The Winter Soldier come out?
2014.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'm a guess May because it's a Marvel movie, but I don't actually know.
It was actually April. They hadn't started doing May releases yet.
Makes sense.
Yeah, April 4th, 2014. But
April 4th. Okay.
so
Okay.
2014. Good.
Okay. So
Man of Steel.
That's 2013.
Right. What month?
I don't know why it's January? I don't know why I'm thinking January. I don't know.
No. It was June. June 14th.
Yeah, that makes sense. Most of these are probably going to be summer movies. It makes no sense to.
A
Okay.
lot of these actually are. Yeah, that kind of how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
They actually came out a month after Iron Man. Iron Man 3 destroyed it. It almost
Iron Man
actually.
3.
I think
Yeah,
it
I
did.
remember.
It did
Because you know
almost
why?
exactly double its box office.
Sheesh.
And people don't even really like Iron Man 3 that much.
That's what I was thinking. Like
I
that's
like
the
it,
Iron
but people
Man.
don't really like it.
I like it too. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I just remember. But I mean, I do like the theme music the best.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
also, like, yeah, I know it made $1 billion because that was right after Avengers, and everybody was like, "Yo, this is great." And then,
Yeah, first movie after
Robert
Avengers.
had to be Robert.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Man of Steel made like 680 something, and Iron Man 3 made like 1.3 billion. So yeah, right at double.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Okay. When did Batman Forever come out?
Okay, that's 1995.
Got it?
I know that because of the VCR. I still have it, or my parents have it. I'm gonna guess June because
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it is June. Okay.
Shout
See,
the
dates
dark.
is impossible.
Which release?
Dates are impossible because you know it's a Friday, but there's no way of knowing. Like,
There technically is a way, but you have to be a genius to know that.
okay, but come, you can count what 30 years back almost. I mean,
I'm sure there's someone who can do it.
21st.
16.
21st.
Pretty close. 16. There's no way to know.
Whatever.
Okay. Here's one you wish you had forgotten. Catwoman.
Oh, Jesus. This is gonna be the first one I get wrong. I can feel it. 2004?
Got it?
Yes. Okay.
A year before Batman Begins, so that's fun.
Yeah. Who cares? October.
July. That was their big July movie.
That was your summer movie?
That was your summer movie.
I realize it's Halle Berry, but come on.
Oh, it's Catwoman.
I mean,
Okay.
okay. Side note.
Go.
Okay. You know how they just randomly made a Catwoman movie?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that has the same energy of how they're just randomly making villain movies now?
So
Obviously with a little more effort, but like the same kind of vibe.
In this specific case, no, because this Catwoman movie had been in production since Batman Returns came out in 1992, which I did not have on this list. That's good. So like they had been trying to they tried to make a Michelle Pfeiffer spin-off movie, but that just
5%. No, yeah.
Yeah, that went in production hell for
10 years plus.
12 years, yeah. And it just keep getting rewritten, passed around, like just eventually Halle Berry got attached to it. And then it came out as a completely different thing from what it originally was trying to be. So technically, I think it's like none of the Sony Spider-Man movies are like were pitched as spin-offs technically. So not really, but like if Catwoman were successful, I'm sure they would have tried to do like a Riddler movie and a Mr. Freeze movie. I'm sure they would have at least tried something like that. But it wasn't, so glad that didn't happen.
I don't know about that, but I mean, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Like, makes sense now that you say that because, like, what Michelle Pfeiffer's portrayal was super popular, but still, like, ugh.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, speaking of movies that aren't that great,
Oh boy,
Ang Lee's Hulk.
Oh,
Eric Bana's Hulk.
yeah. Okay, wait. Oh gosh, which one is which? That's 2003, right?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. That's probably their summer movie. So July.
June.
No.
June.
It's always June.
June
Please,
20th.
I'm just gonna. Okay.
Not always, but it's yeah.
Most of the time, yeah. Like if it's a summer movie, because you want to be the first summer movie.
Yeah, I remember as a kid. Specifically remembering trailers for the Hulk movie, and then when you're a kid, time just passes by like 4 years is like 2 minutes for you. I specifically remember seeing trailers for the 2008 Hulk movie, and being like, "Wait, didn't a Hulk movie just come out?"
Yes,
This is
yes,
a different thing. It was 5 years
right.
before, but like I felt like,
Well, but like when you're a kid, because like what we were what like 2003. That's what like 5, 6 maybe. So it's kind of
yeah,
like it's kind of like I don't by that from 6 to like 10 isn't that long
yeah.
ago. 10,
Also, I'm
11. So
sure
it's
there
like
was like a McDonald's tie-in toy. There was
oh
like
yeah,
those like
that'll do it.
Hulk like gloves
Yeah, the
were
gloves.
everywhere
Yeah,
for like years. Like those,
dude.
yeah.
Yes,
So and
I
those
think I
obviously,
had some of those
oh yeah,
gloves.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously those got like came back into style with Incredible Hulk. So it just felt like it had
Hmm.
always been there. It's like, didn't this just come out? Like, no, it's a different movie.
Right?
a like
It's different, but like
a
no.
not sequel, but like it's kind of like a spiritual successor type thing where Edward Norton's character like picks up in a similar location that Eric Bana left off, so it's not a sequel, but the intro to Incredible Hulk like kind of like does like a montage of the events that happened in the Hulk, the first Hulk, but those are also things that just happened in the comic. So is it actually? I don't know. It was weird.
Those.
Yeah. Moving on to better stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy.
The first one.
Those early Marvel movies, they're all kind of jumbled up.
They're all in this. I know it's either 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 14. Is
Okay.
it 14?
Okay.
Okay, good. And then it's Guardian. Is Guardians May? Because I feel like Guardians has always been May.
Guardians wasn't May at first. No,
When was it?
it was August.
June.
August 1st.
August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Say
because
August 1?
August 1st. Yeah, like Captain America: Winter
Interesting.
Soldier was April, and then
Right.
Guardians was May.
Okay.
Was
That makes
August.
sense because Captain America would have been. Yeah, that makes more sense because that was their more headliner for
Yeah,
the year, so it would have been later in the
I
summer. That
think I
makes
feel like
sense.
structurally they should have been switched
I mean,
like because Captain America, the after credit scene led directly into Age of Ultron, but oh well.
that's true. That is true.
Oh
But at
well.
the same time, it's not like Guardians mess with anything on Earth anyway.
But also Guardians didn't tie into Age of Ultron at all. So and that was the
Yeah,
next
but
thing. It's yeah.
yeah, I mean you're right, but it's like from a business standpoint, you want your
Yeah.
more people are you're taking a risk with unknown characters with this versus
Mm.
you're still coming off of the Avengers with
Yeah.
Captain America. So
Yeah, and
I get it, but
Guardians actually did better at the box office than Captain America.
which is wild
Yeah.
because granted, Guardians is good too, but Winter Soldier is freaking
Top three, easy top three
yeah,
best.
yeah.
Like my brother and I, like over a couple weeks ago, we were like, let's try to determine what the best three and the worst three MCU movies are. And he doesn't even like love the Captain America movies, and I convinced him Winter Soldier is the best one. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very well made movie.
Oh gosh, best three.
We essentially landed on, I believe it was Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians 3. I was like, I don't know if that's recency bias, but
Interesting.
Guardians 3 is
Okay.
a very good movie.
I was about to say, I don't think I can put Guardians 3 on my top three, period. Like, it's good, but I don't know if I'm putting it up there. But it's up there,
Yeah.
but it's close. Like, top 8, sure. But
Okay.
top 3, I don't know.
Okay, next up, Superman Returns.
Superman Returns, 2006 with Brandon Routh. Right?
Correct?
Yep. Okay. That's the thing. I don't know any dates. Like, I know years. That's it. Because I wasn't like, when you're a kid, you're not thinking about,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't wait till this Friday. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, there's Superman again. But we're going to guess, since it's Superman's a big deal. I'm going to guess June.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, here we go. Because it's my favorite number, June 12th.
28th.
Dang. Oh, well.
Okay. 12 is a very interesting favorite number. It was actually mine for a while. Anyway.
Wait, what is it now?
24 is my birthday. Closely
Makes
followed by
sense.
72. I like 72.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. The Dark Knight Rises.
It's 2012. August
Nope.
2012.
No. July 20.
No, July.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, why did I think it was? Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Because there was that thing. But anyway,
Yeah, that releasing like a month after the Avengers is very weird to me.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, the Dark Knight trilogy, or I guess at the time, two movies going to a third, was definitely more notable than the Avengers. But yeah, they found out real quick that maybe we're not the ones who have the superhero game on lock after all.
They Dark Knight Rises made over $1 billion still.
It's true,
So,
but
but
yeah,
yeah,
it's true. Dark Knight, yeah.
shouldn't have. It's not a very good movie. But anyway.
It's not. It's is very overrated. The Dark Knight is very good, and the other two are kind of okay, in my
Yes.
opinion.
We've already gone on a big thing about how I don't like The Dark Knight Rises. I think almost every part of the movie doesn't work, but
Most of it doesn't make. Most of it honestly doesn't make sense,
No.
and it made a lot of choices that didn't make sense.
Correct.
And it was weird. It was like, why are we gonna make him not be Batman for 8 years?
Why
even though
8
it's
years?
only
That's
been
such a
4
weird
years
number.
Right, right. Because like it's been 4 years in real life, so why
Yeah.
has it been double the amount of time? It's kind of like the thing with Infinity War. It was or an Endgame Infinity War where it's like, 5 years. Like, just make it a year like in real life. No one's gonna be more sad if it's been 5. I know like the blip had like some effects, but not really. And like, like I feel like a year would be plenty of time to cause the entire world to flip out.
Yeah, yeah. Like, why wasn't she just Talia? Like, why?
Yes.
Like, not like he knows that name. Not like that name reveal will mean anything to him at the end. Like,
No,
why
it
not
means
just
nothing to him. It means something to us.
Talia? Actually, it's like doesn't. Oh no. Like,
He doesn't name her that, so it surprised the audience. The audience knows something's up with her. I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's not exactly hidden. And also, like, I like how they did Bane in some areas, but the voice is too stupid to
Very.
take seriously.
Yes.
And the thing too is like, it's like over the top intimidating in a way that doesn't work in this. Like, it's intimidating, but it's kind of like I can still tell you're trying to be intimidating. It's kind of weird. I don't know, but
Yeah,
there's a whole other
it's
thing.
a weird
And the whole how do you unparalyze yourself in like a couple weeks? That doesn't
punch
even
you
make
in the
like,
back. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get your Batman, but like, no.
Come
Like, I realize there's a whole like that actually happens, yada yada yada, Nightfall, etc. But at the same time, it's like they didn't just punch him in the back. Like, he had to not be Batman for a very significant amount of time, and it was a very big problem. And obviously, I realize you're not going to do the whole Azrael, John Paul Valley thing, but it's like still, I don't know, maybe. I don't know, maybe. And the John Blake thing makes no sense. I get it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a great actor, but there was no reason to do him like that.
Call him Officer Drake. You're 2 letters off anyway. Come on.
Just don't.
Or don't even.
First of all, just don't.
My
Second of
middle
all,
name is
if
Robin.
you're
No,
gonna,
it's not. That was not part of the script. Shut up.
that was terrible. Like that's so lazy. Like, I mean, and again, for the Dark Knight, like they have a history of just kind of taking characters and just naming them who they're not. Like, movies do that all the time.
Yeah.
And granted, just make him Dick Grayson. Just make him anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, or just don't. Again, just don't. Like, he could be anybody. Just don't. Like, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, oh well.
Sorry, I got too
no,
much.
No, that's great. I love talking about it. Next up, Spider-Man.
The first one?
Yeah, first one.
2002.
Correct.
Because they had to remove certain scenes. But yeah. Yeah, I remember that one. I don't, it's bad that I remember them for bad reasons, but still. But yeah, okay. Actual month. There's no way of knowing this because I was a child. But I'm going to guess July.
No, May 3rd.
May. No, May. Okay. Well, I don't know.
But yeah, like if you didn't bring that up, I was going to. The original trailer ended, like the first trailer ended with him catching a helicopter between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And that released like a month before 9/11 happened. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, because I remember like they had that clip on YouTube where like you can see like the original, and then and of course the top comments like, I wonder why they didn't go with this in the original, and it's just
Yep.
like,
And then like certain scenes of the skyline, they have to digitally edit out some stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh well.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah. Um, okay. So this one is actually the most recent one on the list. Let's see if you
okay.
remember exactly when Black Widow actually came out.
Oh gee, oh no, oh no.
It got delayed like 8 times.
Oh, this is bad because it's in the COVID dead zone. I don't know.
The year that didn't
Oh,
happen.
yeah, like it's in the blip. Like I don't know. Like, it's, like I'm like, oh, but like I know it's at least 2020 just because that's how life works. But I'm like, did it maybe sneak over? But I'm like, no, I don't think so because I remember it was supposed to be that summer, if I remember correctly, and then it was kind of like, oh my god, what happened? But it's still like, well, we have Disney Plus, so final answer is 2020.
That's actually wrong. Got 21.
No, I was doing so good.
July 21. Yeah.
21, okay.
Yep.
Because it got delayed. That's right.
It got delayed, and then they moved Loki up 3 days so
That's
that this last episode
right.
wouldn't coincide with Black Widow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it got delayed.
Yep.
I forgot they delayed everything like 4 times.
It was going to be May 2020, and then it got delayed to
Right.
November. Then it got delayed to the next May, and then it got delayed again to July.
I think I thought, because I knew it was a summer movie, and I think I remember it being delayed, but I didn't think it got delayed that hard. But I guess, okay,
Yeah.
well, that tells you how bad COVID is. I can remember freaking Spider-Man, Sam Raimi, well, 2002.
Like, yeah, 2 years ago. No, not
That's one of the
on
movies. But again, it was the COVID years, man. Like nothing happened there. It didn't happen.
there.
Like I don't know. Okay.
Yep. Okay. The last 4 are some of the worst superhero movies ever made, so strap in.
Oh, good. Here we go.
What year did Daredevil come out?
Oh gosh, Ben Affleck, how dare you? 2003, I believe.
That's correct.
Yep. March.
Close. Came out on Valentine's Day.
That is right. I did know that. Oh, I did know that. That's right. That's the movie's so obscure. I forget the details, but no, that is right. Because I remember that, like him and Electra, they were making that big like. It's Valentine's Day and it's the hero in red and all that stuff.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
And then Deadpool like made a parody of that because it was already coming out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh boy.
I still can't believe that happened. That's crazy.
Okay. Man, there was a stretch of some very bad superhero movies in that.
Oh yeah.
Like
it was bad.
Like, if you think about it, like, outside of Spider-Man 2 and X-Men 2, from, like, 95 until 08, nothing good came out.
Just, like, no, I mean, it's bad because, like, there's a lot of movies that came out, and they just, like, well, nope, that ain't it. Oh, nope,
Like, the
that ain't
first
it.
Blade
And, like,
is okay, then Blade 2 and Trinity are trash. Obviously, Catwoman, every Fantastic Four movie, Hulk...
Yes.
Superman Returns isn't even great. Like,
I feel like Superman Returns gets more hate than it deserves. I do think that. There are some scenes in that movie that I do actually enjoy, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I think everyone was just like, it's not Chris Reeves, so it's trash.
Yeah. It is unfortunate that Kevin Spacey is fantastic as Lex Luthor, though.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe now we know why, you know. But I mean. Sometimes you're too good at the villain role. So.
Okay. So, last 3. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I've always got 2 dates in my head, and they're not close. I want to say 2011.
No, 2011 was First Class.
That's right! It's 2008, wasn't it?
09.
09. Okay,
Yeah.
I was wrong on both accounts.
Yeah. May 1st, 2009.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, yeah.
In my head, it makes absolutely zero sense that X-Men Origins Wolverine and Avatar released a month apart. Like they were both summer 2009.
That,
Right?
that just dates Avatar so hard, though. Because,
But it still
like that
looks
movie,
really good, but like X-Men
it
Origins is
does.
not. What are
No,
you
it
doing?
doesn't. That's so wild. That's the thing.
Hmm.
That is, yeah. Because I don't in my head, Avatar came out like 2013, even though I know it didn't.
Right.
But it just kind of looks too good to be like that's 2009.
Hmm.
And then the new one, I mean, again, looks fantastic, but it's also like it doesn't look that much newer than it
Right.
actually is. It looks like maybe 5 years newer,
Hmm.
and it's actually like almost 15, which is kind of bonkers. But
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of movies that don't look very good, Green Lantern.
oh Jesus. You did a good job. You picked the movies that I knew I tried to repress just in general.
uh,
Okay. All right. Let's think about this. It's Ryan Reynolds.
yes.
So it's after Origins. I know that, but it's also before Deadpool. So it's probably in that Is that 2011?
That's 2011. Yep.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Because I was like, I knew it was around. Because I remember the whole it's after because they were talking about he was getting ready for a different superhero movie after X-Men Origins, and I was like, what movie is it? Green Lantern. And I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
that's gonna be great. Like me remembering Jon Stewart in Justice League TV show. Oh, Green Lantern's awesome. This is gonna be great.
Yeah. Like he's a great casting for Hal Jordan,
Yes.
but not for that
Yeah.
movie.
No. I mean, Hal Jordan to me is always like a Ryan Reynolds, Tom Cruise, yeah, I
Yeah.
can get that would work. But again, Green Lantern is like 90% effects. So if the effects suck, the movie's gonna be trash
Yep.
regardless. Which is
Yep.
why Green Lantern. There's a reason with the whole spoilers for anyone who gives a crap about the CW universe, but there's a reason they only limited the teaser for Green Lantern with John Diggle because
Hmm.
unless you just make it look awesome, it's gonna look really dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Do you want
it's
to guess
not. It's
the month and date?
I can try. We're gonna say June.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe there's a reason I picked a certain number. Let's see. There's no numbers really to Green Lantern though. June 5th.
17th, but good guess.
Dang. There's no way of knowing. Who knows?
Okay. Last up, Thor: The Dark World.
That's also 2013, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. That is 2013. That's probably. Or what else came in 2013?
You know when Iron Man came out?
Right. And I'm thinking it's probably after. It's probably a while after, but not too far after. So August.
November 8th.
November?
Yeah.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah.
I think it's the only November. Movies do not normally come out in November because,
Not really, no.
no.
Like it's to the point where it's kind of weird that this year the Marvels is coming out in November.
Right?
I guess last year Black Panther did, but
That is true.
I got delayed a couple of times. I don't know if it other than as Marvel did too. So it's
Well, that's what I think, but I don't think anyone was like, yeah, November. Because I don't November's generally, which is interesting because it's why? Because it's they have December's usually a big movie month. That obviously has plenty of holiday stuff going on. So
I actually
I
just
don't see
remember
why
that Thor Ragnarok actually was a November movie.
was it?
Yeah, it was. I remember it was coming out a week before Justice League or a week after, something like that.
That's right.
And that was November. Weirdly enough, why was that November? That's weird. No, because Wonder Woman was June.
Right. Yeah, November. That's right. It was right after my birthday, November 3rd. Yeah.
Nice.
That is right.
So I guess Thor movies just like November. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Maybe November was Thor month and I just didn't know it.
Yeah. Okay,
until
man.
this last one.
Yeah.
I did pretty good. I
Yeah.
got 2 wrong, I know, but that's okay.
You got some of the months right, which is nice.
Yeah. No, the months were straight guesses. I'm not even gonna pretend like I knew that.
That's fine. Doesn't matter how you get it, as
Like,
long as you get it.
yeah.
Okay.
I was
So,
about to say.
my turn.
So, okay. So I've got 10 Nintendo games here.
Okay.
And I put the years. I can look up the dates if you would want me to, just if you want to just go for it.
Well, it depends on the game. Well,
That's fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
There's
Okay.
a couple I'm pretty confident I can at least ballpark it, but
That's fair. Okay.
what we got?
Ready?
Yes.
All right. First one's a layup. Wii Sports.
Well, considering that was a launch game for the Wii, I assume it was 2006.
Correct. Do you want to go for the dates or anything?
The Wii was at the point when every single system ever released in November, so I'm going to assume November 8th.
Let's see. Hang on. November 8th. Let's see. Oh man, it might be close. Oh gosh. Ooh, you were close.
What?
You were close. You were right with November. North America released November 19th.
19th. Okay.
But it was December 8th in Europe, so that's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, well, pretty solid. Okay, obviously the first one knocked it out of the park. Not bad. All right, let's throw it back a little bit.
All right.
Okay, Mario Kart 64.
Mario Kart 64. Not a launch game for the N64. Is that a game? The N64, fun fact, only launched with exactly 2 video games. It only launched with Pilot Wings and Mario 64, I think. At least in America. I think in Japan it might have 5, but like in America, 2 games. So maybe the next year, or it could have been December. No, it wouldn't have been. It could have been that much after. 97.
97, North America is correct. February 10th. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't give you the month you didn't ask. I'm
I
sorry.
would not have guessed February.
I was about to say Japan was barely 96 December, so you
Okay.
had some wiggle room. But
Okay. Yeah.
well done, 2 for 2.
Okay. Next.
All right. Okay, this one you're probably gonna want the exact day. Pokemon Black and White 2 for the Nintendo DS.
Okay. Pokemon Black and White 2 for the Nintendo DS. That was. Okay. I know in America it released in 2012 because there was a long period where like either in America or Japan at least one a year since like 06, 05 maybe 06.
That's correct.
Like that. So it came out in 2012.
That's correct.
I'm gonna guess they were never consistent on the American months. Second half August.
October.
October, dang it. Okay.
Yeah. North America, October 7th. Do you want to try for Japan?
Was it also 2012?
Yes.
Okay. March.
June 23rd.
Okay.
Very good, though. That was pretty awesome. You just knew that immediately. Okay. All right. Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. The original.
The original Link's Awakening. So the SNES came out in 91, I think. So let's see, there's 91, 2 or 3. Oh, sorry, Link's Awakening. Not Link's to the Past, Link's Awakening, the Game Boy one.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
okay.
correct.
Ooh, almost should have been. 92.
Just missed it. It's
90?
actually 93.
3. Okay. Okay. Well, we're good.
Yeah. Japan's June 6th. North America, August 6th.
Okay.
Pretty close. Really good, though.
That game's
All
always
right.
okay.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, some of these, I was like, I knew you knew your stuff, so I tried to get some older ones and some like relatively newer ones,
Right.
so just to like, I'm like, I didn't want to get like recent ones because you're like, oh yeah, that came out on this day because I remember I had this that.
Okay.
Well, all right then. All right, next one. Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance.
Metroid Fusion and Metroid Prime both released on the exact same day in 2002.
That's correct.
In September, I
2002.
think.
Let's see. Hang on. This man knows the date. Ooh, it's close,
Oh,
but no, it's not September. It's actually November.
November? Okay.
But I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would hold that against you. Surprisingly, this is one of the few ones that the North American version released first.
Right. Yep. That's weird. Yeah.
I was kind of because I thought I read that wrong for the longest time. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
I don't know why, but that game and Metroid Prime released on the same exact day for some reason.
Because why not?
Yeah. Different systems, so I guess different audiences. I don't know.
Right? All right, this is a fun one.
Yeah.
The original Super Mario.
Okay. This one's actually kind of tricky because
Right.
the NES came out 2 years after it released in Japan, and it was a launch game like Super Mario Bros, like the first like Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, make sure.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Was the NES 83 or 85? Then was it 85 or 87? I think I'm gonna meet in the middle and say 85. It's either Japan or America. It was 85. Was it America?
That's correct for both.
What? Really?
Really?
Huh. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say. Nope. Oh shoot! It was September 11th.
Oh, so close.
Was it
So
September
close.
10th? Is it
13th.
13th? Okay.
13th.
Ah, dang it.
Oh,
Because I
man.
specifically
The conviction, bro. I was ready to
I
give it to
specifically
you.
remember in 2015, I think, the Super Mario Maker for the Wii U came out like on Mario Day, like on the like anniversary, and that was September 11th. And people were like, "Why would you release the game on September 11th? Don't you know that America had this thing?" Like, no, they're Japanese. They don't care. It's like, but also, like, I thought it was on the exact anniversary. It was the closest they could get. Yeah.
Dude, that
Dang it.
was-
Yeah.
no, I mean that's not even on you. I mean, had they done it right, you would have been right. I mean,
Right.
that's intent. But yeah, the original Japanese release September 13th, and the North American release was right after. And it does not say the day; it just says October 1985. So
Okay.
okay. Let's see. Ooh, this is one of my favorites: Mario Kart Double Dash.
Double Dash. That was a GameCube game.
Correct.
Ooh, 03. Let me think. When did it release the same year as Mario? Maybe. It was either 3 or 4. I'm gonna guess. No, it had to have been 02 or 3. Because DS was 04. 03.
Correct.
Okay. We'll say July. No. Okay.
Now, surprisingly, both November, but Japan the 7th and North America the 17th. No reason why. It just that's the way games go. I don't know. That makes no sense
That
to
does
me
not
either.
make sense. That's not even like same day of the week. What are they doing?
Right? Like 10 days after, and it's just kind of like, okay.
Okay, sure.
But I get, maybe it was just, lost in shipping, that last translation. Who knows? I don't know. But all right, here's another fun one. Earthbound
Ah, shoot.
for the SNES.
Um,
Everyone knows NES, but nobody knows the games.
yeah. It's either 5 or 6. Because it was like it was a really late NES. It was a really late SNES game. I think the N64 was already out. I'm gonna guess 96.
We just missed it. North America released 95.
Okay. In like October or something like that.
June 5th.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Japan 94, August
Huh.
27th.
Released
So
one
that
day
one
before
actually.
my brother was born. That's cool.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. All right. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror for the Game Boy Advance.
2004.
That's correct on both accounts.
Okay. Okay. Let's say in America, at least in September.
A little
Ah.
later, October
Okay.
actually. Pretty so October 18th, 2004. Japan, do you want to guess or you just want to tell me?
Just tell me.
April 15th.
Okay.
Very impressive. All right. Kid Icarus for NES.
The original Kid Icarus. Okay. That was, I believe, 96. Sorry, 86. 86. 86.
86. That's correct. Japanese version.
Yes. Because I specifically remember in a Smash presentation thing when Sakurai was showing how the new what is it called, All Star Smash, where like you go through every single character until you die.
Hmm.
They I think it was in Smash 4. They started doing it where you fight them in release order, and he was like, these three characters will spawn at the
Ooh.
same time because they released in the same year. Was Link, Samus, and Pit. So
Interesting. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. Was it 90? Was it 86 in America too, or
No, I'm 87 in America.
okay?
Yeah. This one's actually really interesting
Mm-hmm.
because it came out in 1986, but not necessarily the way you would think. It came out in Japan 96 from the Family Computer Disk System in 1886, which is like the
Yeah.
super like ultra trick question, which I didn't think you were gonna get. But
Huh.
that technically the character came out in December of that year, so
Mm.
technically it is a 1986 character.
Okay.
So
Cool.
most impressive.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
All right.
Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy Advance, or not Game Boy Advance, but
The original
the
Game Boy.
Game Boy. Yeah, sorry, Force of Habit.
Like the first Kirby game.
Yep,
92.
correct on both accounts. You did really good with this.
I'll say August.
Yes,
August 18th.
August 1st,
Ah.
92. Oh
Okay, I'm
my
never gonna guess
gosh.
first. Come on.
I mean, you had the one, you had the finger one up, and I was so tempted to be like, but I was like, no, I don't want to give it to him. He's got to earn it. But
Okay.
but yeah, August 1st for North America and Japan, April 27th. But yeah, that was the first Kirby game,
All right.
which looks hilarious on the
Yep.
box art, by
You,
the way.
you, there's,
But
yeah, there's a bunch of weird stuff with the first Kirby game. First of all, you can't even suck up and like get powers. You just suck up and spit them out.
yeah,
and,
I mean,
and second, they couldn't. They uh, whoever was it, Sakurai? It was either like one of like the main developers and Miyamoto was like having debates over what color Kirby should be. One of them thought pink, one of them thought yellows, and they couldn't decide. So in the box art, they just made them white.
right?
Since the box art, since he's gonna be like black and white on the in the game anyway, they just made him white on the box art, and then decided pink later.
I mean, that kind of makes sense
Yeah.
though. I mean, you kind of have to like, if we can't both figure it out, then we'll just like, and again, who's reading the box art anyway, especially
Right.
back then. Doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to keep going?
Do you have more for me?
I do.
Okay, yeah, please.
Yeah. All right. Okay. The original Pikmin for GameCube.
That is 2002.
Actually, just barely 2001 for North America.
That was a launch window game? No way.
Yeah,
Huh.
December 3rd, 2001. So like just barely.
That's weird. Why would huh? That's not the kind of game I personally would want to be like this is the thing that like I don't know. It's not the GameCube release kind of weird. Like they released it released with Luigi's Mansion, which people liked, but it wasn't the new big 3D Mario game people were expecting. And like it was supposed to launch with Melee, but that got delayed like a couple of weeks. That was also December, I think, at least in Japan. So it's weird that that and Pikmin were both launch window games. Whatever. Okay.
Coming more recently, not super recently, but more recently than some of the other games. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, actually.
2013 year Luigi.
Yep.
In
Didn't even think about it.
in April.
Oh, close. All games released everywhere in March.
Ah, okay,
The 20th in Japan, 24th North America.
okay.
Interesting. I like
Yeah.
how, yeah, see, this is why I stayed away from the recent ones because you didn't even think about it.
Well, there are certain ones that like so in 2013 they did this thing where that was the year of Luigi for some reason, where there was like four different like Luigi based games. There was a Luigi's Mansion game, New Super Luigi U, which was New Super Mario Bros. U, but like instead of Mario you're playing as Luigi with like his like flutter jump and like some more slippery thing. Like and like all the levels are slightly remixed. And then there was a Doctor Luigi, which is a Doctor Mario, but you're playing as Luigi. And there's like a couple other like weird things that made it the year of Luigi for some reason. If it weren't for that, I
Year
definitely would
of
not remember. But yeah,
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
The year of Luigi. I didn't know. I've never heard of that. I didn't know that existed.
yeah. It actually like spilled way over into like halfway through of 2014. It's like, I don't know.
Okay, all right, next one. Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube.
2002 supposed to come out.
That's
People
yep.
were mad it didn't come out at launch, but it came out the next year
He just
in
knows everything.
June, summer. Why not?
Close. Definitely summer. July for Japan, July 19th, North America, August 26th.
Okay.
But definitely a summer game, obviously, by the whole theme of the whole thing. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know. That's one of those games that like I never owned, but I personally remember like seeing it at one of my neighbors' houses as a kid, and because that was the first time I saw like the water on Mario's back, and I was just kind of like, "What is that?"
Right.
Like that makes no sense. Like what in the world? But never actually played that game. But I mean, from what I've heard, pretty freaking epic.
Yeah, there are certain things about it that people are kind of mixed on. Like the platforming is good, but it's clearly designed for like the more precision, like the fact that you have the like hover flood ability, like and then there are certain parts of the game where you get that taken away from you, but they didn't fix the way the game works. So like you still have to do platforming without the precision. So like there's just certain things about it that just don't work exactly how you think they would, even like with the hover jetpack. But it's generally speaking, it's a very very solid game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. Maybe I'll add it to like the Switch store or like Switch retro games or something. Sometime.
If you can find a copy of the Super Mario All Stars 3D All Stars thing that had 64 Sunshine and Galaxy, it was like a limited release thing back in 20.
I think I have that, or my brother, or maybe I don't. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
I might actually. I think some either I or somebody knows that. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next one, second to last one. Metroid 2: Return of Samus.
Metroid 2 on the Game Boy.
That is correct.
at that point of the GameCube, or at that point of the Game Boy's life, sprites actually looked like things. Because when the first couple of Game Boy games came out, the sprites just looked like just like bunch of pixels. Like the original, like
Yes.
the first Mario Land on the Game Boy, just everything looks terrible. But these like Samus looks good in that game. So late-ish, I'm gonna guess. Let's say too late, because Super Metroid was '93. So Metroid 2 would be before that. It wasn't '93. Yeah, I think it was 90. Oh man, hang on.
Hmm.
That doesn't make sense. Super Metroid '95. I may be contradicting myself, but I'm gonna say '92.
That's correct.
Yes. Okay.
Again, this is another one of the Metroid games. For whatever reason, back in the day, the Japanese version came out after the North American version.
Okay.
I don't understand that either. But yeah, the Japanese version actually came out in '92, while the North American version came out in '91, which is again
Okay.
what
Okay.
we are. But yeah,
Yeah.
do you want to guess dates, or you just want to?
No.
No, that's fair.
Something
That's
that old
fair.
is not worth it.
Yeah, it's a little too like, yeah, that just doesn't. It's interesting though, because you would think, how would you release the North American version first? But because that makes no sense to me, because it's
No.
like you're making it. I mean, obviously in Japan, so it's like,
Maybe it was made by an outside studio. I don't think it was, but I don't know.
I
There
doubt
wasn't
it,
there
but I
wasn't much
mean,
dialogue to translate, so I guess it just worked better with their schedule at the time to release it in America first. I don't know.
I guess, but like, how though? Like, I don't like. I feel like you would just naturally just pick like what worked best for you, right? Like,
You think since
I
they're
mean,
Japanese, they would release it in Japan? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where it's just kind of like, you know what? They're just gonna do what they're gonna do,
Yep.
and we're just gonna say okay, because what are we? What are we? What do we know? What do we know? I'm not a game. I don't make games. Like I can't. I can't.
Uh, you
Yeah.
have one more?
All right. Okay. Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay.
Okay. This one, I don't know if you'll get this one. This is also a GameCube game. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Shoot. Um, so there's Path of Radiance, and then Radiant Dawn, which is the sequel on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, 2005 is shooting out in my head. I'm gonna guess 2005.
That's correct. Your instincts towards you. Yep,
I
this
don't
one was
know. Let's
2005.
say August. No, October.
Um.
October.
Yes. Correct.
October 13th.
October. So 17th. So
Ah.
close. That was, if you had gotten that on the last one, I would have been like this guy. But no, that was really good. That was really good. Yeah. Yeah, this one, like you said, the sequel came out on the Wii. This is one of the last GameCube ones. But yeah, this American version came out in October. Japanese released on April, not August, April 20th. So yeah, do you ever play Fire Emblem? Because I've never heard you talk about it, so I didn't think you did.
I've played one Fire Emblem game. It was the one for the Game Boy, Sacred Stones. And then I've played a little bit of Three Houses, the recent one on the Switch. They stress me out. I know the recent ones your party members don't have to die, and I'm sure if I actually got into it, I would probably like the more recent ones more. But I liked the Sacred Stones for what I played, but it's definitely one of those games where I was probably way not nearly as far into the game as I thought I was, but I played it probably 10 years ago. It was on the played it through the 3DS shop. Um, I was probably only like actually only a couple hours in, but it felt like I was like really
Mhm.
far in. But then I got to one level where I just could not beat without losing like half my team. I'm like, I can't do this. And also, they in fire at least in those Fire Emblem games, your weapons have durability, and weapons were a lot harder to get, or like good weapons were pretty hard to get. So like it was a lot of too much. You had to manage a lot of things at the same time to make sure your good weapons don't break, but also to make sure your characters don't die. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your good weapons so that doesn't happen, but also like now your good weapon is gone, so that character is useless. But if they,
Mhm.
yeah, it was a lot.
It's a ton. That's what I'm saying. Like that is a lot to just like. No, it's just a game. But you're how you gotta do this and
Yeah,
that. And I'm like this character. Ah.
yeah.
So wait, if your character dies, are they gone? Gone?
So there are certain characters that are like that are important to the story that cannot die, but that's like two or three characters, and then like everyone else can die. Yeah,
That is
yeah,
terrifying.
and
I
like
don't
as
think I've ever played a game like that.
yeah, like as you go, you collect more people, but you know you gotta level them up. The only way to level them up is just throw them at people, and if the opponent gets a critical hit when you didn't expect it, then you're done.
Oh, it
Yeah,
sucks. It's like you name them, get all. It's like Clone Wars. You like
yeah.
name them, get all invested, and then Echo.
Uh,
Like just oh
yeah.
jeez.
I'm surprised you didn't throw more Pokemon, by the way.
Well, I kind of assumed you would just destroy all the Pokemon ones, so I kind of
That'd be
stayed. I threw
fun.
one in there, but like, no, I mean, I just, like, I knew you knew everything, you know
Yeah.
everything about Pokemon, so I was kind of like, I don't want this to be a complete just like
Right.
get them all. So I was like, let's mix them up and do some games he probably might know, or like, because I picked a lot of older ones too, because I feel like anything within the last 10 years, you're just gonna just
Yeah, it's like pretty much everything past 2012. I would have a pretty like be clued in onto it because I
right.
was like actually had money to buy stuff then, so I was actually like more aware of release dates.
Right, exactly.
Because before then, it's
Like
like,
more
oh, a
solid.
game came out in like August, but my brother's birthday is in July, in June, and mine's in September, so I guess I gotta wait until or Christmas, whatever. Like, I don't always get it the day it comes out, so like,
Mhm.
but I also don't like associate that with any given year. But like after 2013, I got more like I was more, I guess, self
Right,
aware.
you're
I'm
your
like,
own person. You have money now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, but you did great. You
yeah.
crushed that.
That
I think
was
you only missed one and like barely missed it.
I missed
Like I would even
Pikmin. I
call that.
missed one. I think I missed two.
I think it was Pikmin and what was the other one?
Link's Awakening. I think I missed that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah, it was by like
yeah.
just yeah, just barely. But you got all the other ones, which I'm like, you have not played all those games.
No, did I miss? Did when did Mario 64 come out? Mario Kart 64
It
was
was
that?
96, 97.
Okay, yeah, okay. I have that one. Okay, yeah, I haven't played
Yeah,
most of
those.
those,
Yeah,
but I just know.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way he's played all these games. So like, he just knows.
Yeah, that was fun. Um,
Yeah, I like that. That was really cool.
yeah, yeah. There's always more. I think next time I'll branch out as opposed to like just superheroes. I'll branch out to like more like nerdy, general stuff, like Star Wars and maybe like Indiana Jones, like other like stuff that you still will probably should know, but not necessarily superheroes. Um, and you could branch out into like other consoles if you wanted to, but not like Sega Genesis. I wouldn't know anything from Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Like, yeah, within reason.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, it's this is one of those things that I didn't think I was gonna like. With the movies thing, I was kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna know any of these, and I was like, oh, I actually do kind of know
like,
like
like I
stuff,
don't
but
think you would know like when the Ghost Rider movie came out. Like I wouldn't expect you
no,
to know that. But
I hold on, let me
I
think.
would guess like '04, but it was in
I
that
was thinking 2000 like six, just because like maybe it snuck around
that
longer.
that or
Oh,
its sequel was '07. I know that much.
The first one's actually '07,
Okay.
according to Google. So
Okay. So yeah,
not
it's still
super
in
close,
that
but
long stretch of
yeah,
just
it's it
carnage.
like it's in the dark times of superhero movies. We know Sam Elliott's in this movie. I
Yeah.
have not seen this movie in forever.
Yeah. Sam
I'm
Elliott's
like,
like the like old guy who also, I think he was also cursed or something. He either rides a
yeah,
devil horse. Or, I don't know. It's
he's the other Ghost Rider.
yeah.
Let's see. Rebel Wilson is apparently in this movie,
Okay.
but apparently she played Girl in Alley, so probably not really.
Probably not really.
So
Yeah. That's a wild
that's
movie.
one. No. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things where you don't realize how much information you retain until you
Mm,
actually put it to the test. You're like, oh, I do know things. Like,
yeah.
all right,
A lot
like,
of useless things, but it's still things
yeah,
nonetheless.
right. I mean, useless is relative because it's like, I mean, will this ever be like on my job? No, but I mean, if it was a job about movies or video games, it would
Yeah.
be. So, you
You
know,
know, if you're like a Trivial Pursuit team, and that's a category. You know.
surprisingly, yeah, like I am pretty good at trivia. I'm always that person who knows that random question that no one else knows sometimes. So, but then I don't know the
Uh,
easy ones. They'll be like, "Oh, who wrote this song?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't keep
yeah.
up with music
There
like
was
that.
one. I don't remember if it was Trivial Pursuit. It was some. There's some like board game like that Ubisoft has a license to make it for the like to make a digital version for the Switch, and it was
Mhm.
like $3 on the Switch eShop. So my brother bought it for us to play on vacation with my parents. I guess last year, and there was one like category thing where it's like we're gonna present a movie, and you're gonna have to determine whether it was directed by Stanley Kubrick or Steven Spielberg.
Oh gosh.
A lot of them are easy. However, one of the things that was presented was the movie AI from like '91, I think, or like somewhere around that time.
That's an old
It's
movie.
an old
Yeah.
movie. The thing about that movie, unless I'm just completely wrong, I'm pretty sure they both directed that movie. Let me make sure. Like, I know there's some story about two different directors, like Spielberg and some other director who that director died during the production of this movie, and Spielberg finished it. I think it was Kubrick. I'm like, how do I? Like, if I didn't know this, I would have guessed Spielberg, because he sure makes movies like that. But like, no, like I don't know. Like I know Spielberg like was the main director because the other one died. Like,
Okay, hang on.
is Haley Joel Osment in it? I think. Yeah.
I think so. Says Steven Spielberg, but
Oh, Jude
oh
Law's in this. Huh.
gosh,
I know I'm not crazy. Hang on. Of course, John
I
Williams with
don't
the
think
music
you're
license.
crazy. I think it
Yep.
just
Yep. Development originally began under producer Stanley Kubrick.
so it is both.
He's been trying to write the story since the early '70s, and he just couldn't get it done until, yeah. So Spielberg directed the actual finalized script, but Kubrick basically wrote the movie. I'm like, that's annoying.
So that is literally that question is literally yes. Like they both did. Like I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. We should do that again sometime.
Definitely.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to bring up or discuss before we sign off?
I think we're good.
Okay. Hopefully next time, if you've seen it, we'll discuss The Flash and its moviness.
It's yes. It does exist.
Yep. And with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care.